Plaintiff Leah White says the defendant is the oldest of her 3 children. Leah claims she became a single mother when the defendant was 10 years old because her ex was physically abusive, and the defendant often had to call the police as Leah's ex was beating her. Leah is suing her son for unpaid rent. Defendant DJ Suarez admits that he and his mother have been through a lot as a family, and they remain close through thick and thin. However, DJ claims the lawsuit has put a strain on their family, so much so that his younger brother will no longer speak to him. DJ admits to owing his mother some money, but not the full amount she's suing for.
All right, prove your case.
DJ is my son. He's the oldest of 3 children. I adore all my children. They're great.
Why do you say great?
Why do I say great? They're great kids. As all kids, they.
As far as you know.
As far as I know.
Okay.
I'm not going to say they're perfect.
All right.
As anybody, you know.
My daughter's here today. Jade. She's in law school. She's in law school, appears to live great, productive lifestyle, sweet young lady. But believe me, I'm not fooled. She might think I am, but I'm not. So you can be fooled if you want to.
Oh, they think they've fooled me a lot more than they have. I'm on to most of it.
Go ahead.
I became a single mom when DJ was about 10 years old. And the circumstances surrounding that were pretty horrific. My ex had developed a drug problem, cocaine specifically, and it caused him to become irrational and extremely violent. And it was very hard on all of us. I thought I did all of the right things to try to get away from this man.
What'd you do?
I filed an order of protection. I pressed charges for every assault. And I did everything that was asked of me, but for some reason that to this day I don't truly understand, the law enforcement community didn't take me seriously. And they kept just assuming that I would drop charges or take him back. And this went on for about 3 years, and the children were witness to many assaults. DJ, being the oldest, was often the one that had to come to my rescue, because when my ex would assault me, we lived up on a mountain. We had no neighbors, and he would have to run to a neighbor's house and call the police, and the response time was generally 45 minutes at best because we lived so far out in the boondocks. And then because we had a long driveway, when the police would arrive, he would run off into the woods and they would be unable to find him. And this is a scenario.
Ma'am, if you all lived in the country, and I'm certainly not being facetious, this is serious. Didn't you had shovels? You had kitchen knife. I mean,
yes, and that kitchen knife was held to my throat.
I know. How old were your children?
DJ was about 10 when it all ended, and the next youngest was 3, and then I had a baby.
All right, I must tell you, the kids in Detroit, they don't run to the phone. They see daddy or somebody beating mama, they taking something upside their head.
I took a baseball bat to this man one time, didn't slow him down.
That would be considered self-defense, the protection of mama, the protection of another who is being victimized and whose life is being risked. And when a child has to witness their mother being assaulted, that child has every right to try and defend their mother. And, you know, some judges saying, why the judge telling them to do that? Because I want you to defend yourself against these dogs out here beating these women and mothers, and particularly in front of their children. Nothing but cowardly dogs. So, didn't mean to go off track, but that might be the best thing for me to do for therapy. Because I might ask for his address. Go ahead. 'Cause I'm just believing defending the vulnerable. Go ahead, ma'am. So he would beat you repeatedly. You obtained nothing from the justice system.
It took more than 3 years and more than 14 charges before his last assault, which included an assault against a police officer. And I believe that is why they finally moved forward. And
you are here to sue for rent, but you telling me your experiences.
Well, I wanted you to understand kind of how DJ ended up where he is. because he's a very brilliant and very talented young man.
Excellent.
Very bright, good student, and a tremendous musician. In fact, he went to the Berklee College of Music in Boston for a year, playing the saxophone.
Well, let's hear from him. Give me some background, sir, before we get to the rent your mom is suing you about.
Yes, Your Honor. Basically, like she said, we've been through a lot together as a family, through thick and thin. Obviously, my father caused a lot of drama within our family. But throughout all that, we've always maintained a very good relationship. And the circumstances that have led to this lawsuit have definitely put a lot of strain on the family as of recently. My little brother, who isn't really involved but chooses to be anyway, doesn't really talk to me anymore. It's been 3 months. We've only talked a couple times, my mother and I, since this incident. It's just really unfortunate that money has to come between family to this degree.
All right. Ma'am, tell me how he owes you for rent.
DJ had been living in Tampa for a while after coming back from Boston, and then decided to come back into town. And just coincidentally, we were moving, my husband and I, to another house that we had purchased and repaired. And so our old place was coming available. And DJ had asked if he could rent it from me. And
what was the agreement?
the agreement was, because he's my son, $1,100 a month.
Okay. So you gave him a break at $1,100.
Yes. The Florida keys are expensive.
This is Key Largo, Florida. That's actually really cheap rent for there. It's insanely
So what
expensive
happened
to
to
live.
cause you to sue him?
He had chosen a roommate. It was his own choice. I believe when I had the two of them sign a lease, I explained to them that it was my impression that I could hold either of them fully responsible for the lease.
You had the right impression. So which month do they owe you for?
They owe me for June, July, and August.
Sir, what do you want to tell me about owing? Do you believe you owe your mom? If not, why?
I believe that I do owe her something, but not the full sum of what she's claiming. My roommate, prior to us falling behind on bills, had lost his job, and I'd known him for not too long, but about a year and a half. So I definitely put a little more faith in him than I should have. I fell behind on bills because I let him borrow some money so he could get by for about a month or two. And then by the third month, I started getting quite upset with him and telling him that he needed to start taking care of his half because it was affecting our household quite a bit.
So how much do you believe you owe?
I would say $1,650.
Half?
Yes.
And you believe you should only pay half because your roommate owes the other half?
Yes.
All
He
right.
was.
Well, your mother's obviously been watching some judge shows.
Yours in particular, Your Honor.
There you go, because she sure knows the law. When there are two co-tenants or co-debtors, two people owe a debt together, the creditor can choose to sue either one of the two or both of them. For some reason, she's chosen just to sue her son.
That would be because the roommate is nowhere to be found. He
Oh,
skips
Can't
town.
find him.
well, if you find him, maybe she would sue him.
Happy to.
Probably best
Yeah.
that I don't find him, Your Honor.
Oh, it's like that. It's like that. $3,300 is your judgment. You had the opportunity to sue either one or both. You chose to sue your son for the entire amount, and that is within your right. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, first of all, that's my son, and I am proud of him, and I love him to death, and I will always love him. And we will not let money come between us as mother and son. This was a business arrangement, and I sued him from the business standpoint. And I hope he understands that.
I do completely understand. It's been a very stressful situation. For my part, I'm really just glad it's over, and I hope we can go back to just being mother and son and a normal family again.
Oh, absolutely. That's my baby.
Now, let me see, Mom.